For yeahyeahyarn podcast vlog. Actually, this is more gonna be a vlog, and this is me taking you along to dyeing the clubs for this month. So today we are the 18th, sorry, closing cupboard. We are the 18th of October. Yesterday was the election here in New Zealand. The Labour Party got elected. Jacinda won another term. Very good. Very happy about this. The Greens have taken better seats in the parliament. It's just all very exciting. Yeah, so a good day to start. And today I am gonna be dyeing the first round of clubs for the month of October, which I'm hoping to ship by next week. So I decided to do a wee vlog. My hair a bit greasy, I'm sorry guys. I decided to do a wee vlog to not show you too much of the process, because a magician can keep its secrets, but I definitely want to take you along with it. I think it's fun, and I'm probably going to do this every month for each of the club colorways. So today we are going to be doing both, really. So I've got two clubs. If you haven't been following, sorry, I might actually introduce myself as well, because this is going to be a separate video from my other ones. Sorry, so my name is Caroline. I am the indie dyer behind yeahyeahyarn, and I'm coming from the South Island of New Zealand, precisely Dunedin, Otipoti, where Otipoti, probably a better pronunciation, where I live with my partner Sam and his two children. And yeah, this is our house. It's a bit messy at the moment, but as you can see behind me is my kitchen, in which I currently do all of my dyeing. I do not own a studio in which I can do this at this stage. I'm hoping definitely to renovate the garage or something like this and get something a little bit more professional going at some point. But for now, anyways, we do what we can, and it's a pretty large kitchen with a lot of power plug, which is what I need. So I'm all set up to go, and as I was explaining, this is the club colorway. So clubs, if you're not aware of it, is pretty much a subscription that you get monthly. Also, just put that out here, the fact that this is happening like this, the camera in my hand, is because I do not have a tripod, and I don't really have anything that's high enough to sit the camera on top to talk to you, from afar. So I'm gonna buy a tripod one day, but until then I'm gonna do this vlog fashion mode, so follow me like this. So yes, clubs. So club is subscription. I've launched them at my last shop update last month, and everyone that bought it, you could choose between two different bays, and you could choose between two different clubs, so different colors, and from there you will receive either 100-gram skein or 300-gram skeins in the form of a fade every month for the next 3 months. And the two clubs were called Spring Wave, which is all about pastels and neon and just spring, which is coming here in New Zealand, or arriving, even though today's pretty miserable. So pretty fun, really just beautiful little pastels. And the other one is Melancholia, which is all about moody, earthy tone, deeper, darker shade sort of thing. So we're both gonna do them today, and I already have selected the pictures that I'm gonna do. So obviously this is so if you didn't know about clubs, they're a secret pretty much. So the people that have bought the clubs have done willingly by giving me the trust of what they want to get, which is really lovely. Really what it means is that I created a mood board with several pictures, and what you buy will reflect those mood boards in terms of colors, but you don't actually know what you're getting, which is part of the fun, really. And I'm including a lot of little goodies in there, but all of that will be more mentioned into the Flash the Yarn episode at the end of the month, once everyone's received their club colorway. So follow me around. I will keep touching base with you and show you my process as I go along. We are going to be starting with Spring Wave, and we are going to be starting with Bliss, which is the Merino 4-ply colorway, which is what I sold the most of. So yeah, I'm gonna get started, and I'll touch base with you again once I'm a bit set up. So just before going, I will show you the pictures that we have for reference for Spring Wave, which is this beautiful flamingo that you can see here. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love the colors. That was one of the pictures part of the mood board, actually one of the main ones, and so that's going to be the color for this month's colorway. And yeah, so let's get going. See you in a minute. Okay, so as you can see here, I have got 3 of my 4-ply skeins soaking in my pan with water, and this is my wee dye station which I put some of my dyes, and this is where I do my mix. And so here we have the first mix that I'm gonna add to this colorway. I am starting with the center colorway. So what I mean by that is that, as I explained before, some people get only 1 skein, some people get a fade. Everyone will get, like, so both the people that get 1 skein and the people that get a fade will get the center one, if that makes sense. So like for the people that get that get only 1, they get the one that represents the most the color, and then the fade will have one that's dyed before and after, so that it melts together. So I'm now making the center one, so that's for both the fade and for both the single ones. And so if you look at that flamingo picture one more time here, you can see that there's a beautiful mix of peachy tones and kind of sage green, which I really like the most. So I'm gonna start with the peachy tone as a first layer, and I'll check back with you once I add the green. Yeah, and then we'll add the details, which will be gold for the eyes and black as well. Okay, so the lighting is terrible because I've got this yellow light above, so you can't really see the coloring, but it doesn't change much. But okay, so I've added this peachy tone, which, as I said, look, the color is really hard to show it on camera here because it's pretty dark above this stove, but this has been added now, and so I made sure to add it in different temperature so that it would either leave some leakage, which I like to have an overall kind of pastel undertone, but have some darker bits as well, which will allow to kind of really just represent that flamingo similar to the picture. So this is our first layer. We'll let that simmer for a bit and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so we are still waiting for this first layer to simmer. It's pretty good. It's probably absorbed by now, but I'll check this in a minute. Meanwhile, I have started doing the first side of the fade for the same color for just one. I think there's only one person, well, I know there's only one person that bought the fade on the Spring Wave Club. So I'm starting with this one. So semi-solid kind of layer at this moment, the same obviously color, but I put a layer kind of pastel, and I'm definitely going to darken this as I go, but for now I'm letting this absorb. And over here I have started the same color as I'm making in the big pan, but just on the Lush, which is my 8-ply Corridale, for the person that ordered it on DK. So here it is as well. It's working in this cute little single pan. Once they're all absorbed, I will then add green. Alright. Okay, I am leaning down because I am now on the windowsill, just about to do the mix for the green. I have selected this sage color from Dharma, which I think will be perfect for it. Yeah, I think it's I could have gone for like a minty green similar to my top, but I think this actually will be a little bit closer to the picture. Yeah, so let me put my mask on. It'll be difficult to talk, but I will, you know, add subtitles or something, I don't know. Okay, because you have to protect yourselves. Alright, so I'm gonna do the mix for the big pan, and I want to keep it light and pastel, so I'm only gonna add a little bit of this, not too much. You won't see it, but I'll show you once it's mixed. Okay, and I'm gonna add 3 cups of water to this. Now, here you go. Once the dye powder has been mixed with the water, you're not at risk of toxicity anymore with it. Just the particle powders of the dye is what is dangerous, but the rest isn't. So I've added 1 cup of hot water to my mix here, and I'm adding 2 more cups of cold water. Now the reason for that is the faster, like the hotter the solution, the quicker it'll strike and be absorbed by the yarn as it touches it. So the thing is, I'm adding cool water so that it doesn't absorb it straight away, as if the mix is not too hot, but I'm kind of kidding myself here because I'm adding this to this pan over here, which is already hot, because it was hot to absorb the peach. That's okay though. I can just, that's why I added more water, so that I have a more diluted product, and I'm gonna be layering it on slowly. So I'll touch base with you once that's done as well. Okay, so as expected, as I started adding my green mix to the yarn, it obviously started doing patches of darker concentrated colors because of how hot it was, which, although I want a little bit of this for contrast, I definitely want an underlayer of pastel and not that, you know, not for that to happen. So I've improvised and decided to change my approach. I need to cool my skeins down and to add all of this to cold water and then bring it to hot to get this effect. So I have I had made a mix with 3 cups, so I had quite a bit of it left because I obviously just added just a little bit and moved it around so that it would get the contrast. But I've added the rest to my old trusted skillet with like 12 cups of water, so quite a bit, to get, you know, all of this mixed up. I added a little bit more of a minty green to it as well, as although I like the sage leaf and how it's coming out, I just wanted to be maybe a little bit more on the blue tone. Here is the yarn that I've got out now, and this green side is now going to be deep dyed into this solution, so as to create this layer. So I'll come back and check with you once it's done. I have done the deep dyeing as I was mentioning before. Here is how it looks at this stage. From there I have also removed the 8 ply, which I've added to the deep dye as well, just because it was a pretty strong solution and I really wanted to just disperse it over more wool so that it'd be quite pastel. Pretty happy with how it's coming out. And now the next step is, so I've relayed all this. I'm now going to work on adding some pink to this white, some pink and peach, but mainly pink, to kind of transition between these 2 colors, and just get it a little bit more close to the picture. I removed my skeins from my deep dye bath before everything was absorbed, and I added more green to it, and now you've guessed it, I'm going to do the less color of the fade, which will have those minty green underlay at the same time. Over here I have also added an extra layer of peachy pink, and this is still kind of just simmering. It's looking good though, it's pretty much absorbed, so I'm gonna be able to start thinking about what I'm gonna do with this one next, which I kind of already have an idea, but I will be pondering. None of this is planned in advance, by the way, which is kind of how I work all the time. I look at the picture, I've got my idea, and then I just go for it. So let's check again in a minute once I've added more pink. Okay, it's pretty much impossible to show you guys, but I have added a different kind of pink here. And you can see there's still white because I've got another solution, which is another pink. I'm using 3 different ones at this stage to achieve this. So I've put this back on hot, and I'm waiting for this to absorb yet and to get hot, because compared to before, I actually want this one, which is quite diluted, to strike fast. And the reason for that is because I don't want it to leak onto the green and become muddy. So I'm waiting for this to be quite hot so that I can add this solution, and it just will go where I want it to. This is now gonna go on the next step. As you can see, the water is now clear, all the dyes be absorbed. I like how it's looking. It definitely needs to get a bit darker in places, but that's the underlay. And then over here we've got this mint green, everything that was left in the solution, plus added a little bit more just to match with the green we've got over here for the fade. Yeah, so check again in a minute, I guess. See you guys. Okay, so my skeins have been dyed with more pink. I've flipped them around. I've repeated the process on the other side. Over here I have started working on this bad boy, which will be the first color. Added the same kind of mix layer pink, and actually got a first round, sorry, not showing you properly, got a first round of speckle already. Now I will speckle all 3 colors of the fade together in one pan to add a tie to them all and make sure that they really mix properly. But because you know, the first and the last color of the fade are unique, they also get kind of a round of themselves. And if you look at again the flamingo picture that I mentioned before, in the picture, which I'll show one more time here, So as you can see in the picture, there is this little corner of bright kind of coral that the light catches, which is I think the neck of the flamingo that's behind. I really like that, and I want to incorporate it in the first color, which is this over there. And for that, I'm gonna use a premix of very strong coral that I've made for another of my colorways, and add a little bit of that. So I'll check back with you in a minute once that's applied, and then we'll get onto the fun part, which is adding the speckles and the black, because the black for the beak is the next big step. Okay, so I've added the pink. It's actually been dyed, and so I took it out. Now you can see, I don't know if you can actually see the saturation, but there is coral pink over here. So this is how this canes look at this stage. This one's not going to get anything else down, same for the green, until I put all three of the fade in the same pan, and then I'll work on them. I decided to add a little bit of the coral to the end of this pan as well, which is currently simmering because I want it to be quite hot for adding the black. So I'm not gonna add black, and I'm thinking I'm gonna add it over here, just in about this section. If you look at the picture, there is black, and the one that's behind actually has a blue hue to it. So I'm actually gonna add a little bit of blue, just a touch of blue, to mix that on the side, on the edges of the black as well, and touch back with you, and then we'll go to the fun part, which is the speckling, and it will be all done. Okay, so we are gonna do the final step. As you can see, I added black, it's all been absorbed. In here I'm gonna have the fade, and the rest of them are in this one. And so now I'm just gonna add speckle. So I'm gonna add to the fade, I'm gonna add speckles of, like, I mean, think to all of them, a little bit speckles of black. I'm not entirely sure yet, and I'll show you afterwards, but I definitely will add some yellow for the eyes of the flamingo, so there'll be some golden and yellow specks in there. I'm gonna add, I think, a little bit of specks of my god, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm gonna add specks of gold, specks of black, and probably a little bit of specks of green. I'll end that specks of blue at the edge of the black, as I mentioned before. I'm just gonna see how I go. This is already pretty colorful. This is colorful enough for me anyway for this color. So I'm just gonna see how I go out of instinct, but I'll check out with you once it's done. See ya. Alright, so it's bubbling away. I'll show you, but there is a lot of steam coming out. I have done speckles of black, speckles of pink, speckles of gold, a line of gold, a little bit of speckles of blue. Yeah, and for the fade, I have tied them together with the similar speckles. And at this stage, I don't want to add anything else. I just want to keep this more about these colors than anything else. I will see once they're all absorbed how it looks on the other side of those set skeins, and decide from there if I need to add anything else. But otherwise, this is going to be a wrap up for this come along with me dye club video. I said I was going to record the video for the Melancholia colorway, but then I realized this is taking a lot longer once you have to stop to film every step, and I have a pretty limited few hours left for me to get on with it. So I won't, but I promise I will be back next month for the next round of the club, and this time we will film together the Melancholia one rather than the Spring Wave one. Yeah, so if you have watched this with me up to now, thank you so much for coming along. I know that you haven't seen much of actually what's happening once I play it down. Sadly, this is, as I said before, because I don't have a tripod, and it's already difficult to kind of just hold the camera, and obviously I just can't do the speckling while I hold the camera at the same time. I just need both of my hands, so I can't really do that. Plus I've got a lot of steam coming out, so it's really hard to film. But hey, there's a lot of other dyers out there that do amazing dyeing videos on YouTube, which I totally recommend you follow if you want to find something more along of a tutorial. I would just at the top of my head recommend highly Taylor from Fiber for the People. who's amazing and done several of these tutorial dye with me session. So yeah, until then, thank you for joining me. I hope you still got something out of this video. I thought it'd be fun to kind of show you a little bit more of my process, knowing that it changes every time I dye something. It's never really the same, but I always just do it by step and observe the yarn and then take a step back and decide what I'm going to do from there. I will check back with you once this is all washed, dried and skeined up, and add the footage of this right here. And otherwise, thank you so much, and I will see you next month for the Melancholia Club round dyeing. Maybe by then I will have better setup. I'm not making any promises, but yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.